Details emerging in Superior Court today, detailing how 24-year-old Daniel Squalls was murdered back in 2022, shot at least half a dozen times. Potholes, cracks, and chaos.
We got some pretty mean roads here.
Drivers can now vote on the region's most problematic roads.
There's a choke in front of the net. Shot, great tree.
And a formal commitment from the OHL to Chatham Kent, but on one condition.
Without an arena, there isn't, much to discuss.
An arena that could cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. A Windsor jury trial is nearing conclusion. Calloo has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, even though he has admitted to shooting Daniel Squalls. Today, the jurors learned Squalls was shot more than half a dozen times. CTV's Michelle Molesky has the details.
24-year-old Daniel Squalls was shot to death on November 28, 2022, out front of his home on Hannah Street. Calloo, now 30 years old, has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, hoping instead to be convicted of manslaughter. The Windsor jury learned today Squalls was shot at least 6 times, with bullets recovered from his head, torso, and pelvis. But the coroner also couldn't say precisely how many bullets entered and exited his body. The jury has previously learned Calloo fired his weapon 15 times. The gun still hasn't been recovered. On Tuesday, a friend of Squalls and an acquaintance of Calloo's testified about 2 physical fights between the 2 men about 5 years before the shooting. Demetrius Ka testified both fights were over the same woman who was in a relationship with Squalls after breaking up with Calloo. Ka denied on cross-examination by the defense that one of the fights was over an insult Squalls made about Calloo's daughter. Ka also couldn't explain why he waited until this past January to tell police about the fights. Midday Tuesday, Justice Maria Caracia told the jury the Crown is close to concluding their evidence, and they will likely hear from the defense on Wednesday. At Windsor Superior Court, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
In other news, Windsor police have made an arrest in a hit-and-run that damaged a bus shelter near downtown earlier this month. Investigators say the incident happened on March 1st at University and Bruce when a white 4-door sedan crashed into the shelter, shattering a glass panel before the female driver and a male passenger switched places and left the scene without reporting it. Police say the driver turned herself into Windsor Police Headquarters this past Friday. A 22-year-old woman has now been charged with careless driving. Windsor Police has also arrested a 24-year-old man connected to a Via Italia shooting for a second alleged breach of bail. Haydar Alanews was first charged in 2024 after police say he fired at a vehicle on Erie Street. Officers say a compliance check on March 23rd found he has violated his release conditions. Alanews and his 29-year-old surety now face new charges. Meanwhile, a gunshot fired inside a home ripping through a shared wall into a neighbor's place has resulted in an off-duty Windsor police officer being charged. LaSalle police say a single round from a service-issued firearm was discharged inside the officer's home this morning, traveling through 2 walls and into an adjoining unit with 2 people inside. No one was hurt. 49-year-old Constable Louis George is now charged with careless use of a firearm and has been reassigned to administrative duties. A professional standards investigation is expected to follow. Drivers can expect some relief at the pumps in the near future. Gas prices are set to fall 13 cents tomorrow, according to Dan McTague with Canadians for Affordable Energy. The price of oil dropped nearly 10% yesterday after U.S. President Donald Trump suggested talks with Iran could lead to a resolution in the ongoing war in the Middle East. However, Iran's parliamentary speaker denied that any talks were taking place. Ontario drivers are being asked to speak up about the roads they travel on every day. The CAA's Worst Roads campaign for South Central Ontario is currently underway. CTV's Chris Campbell joining me now with more on this. And Chris, Windsor drivers say potholes and patchwork repairs are costing them.
Yes, Stephanie, the annual campaign is designed to shine a spotlight on the roads many drivers say need the most attention. And here in Windsor, some say the problems are hard to ignore.
We got some pretty mean roads here.
Drivers across Ontario are once again being asked to nominate the province's worst roads as the annual campaign from CAA returns.
Well, the CAA Worst Roads campaign is one of the largest campaigns we do here. It serves as an opportunity for Ontarians, for road users to voice their concerns over the state of their roads.
According to CAA, most drivers are frustrated with road conditions, and many say not enough is being done to fix them.
70% agree that not enough's being done.
And those rough roads can come at a cost. At McDonald's Automotive Supercenter, repairs linked to pothole damage can quickly add up.
It could be as simple as an alignment, which is around $160, or it could be some wheels, tires, some suspension components could easily escalate to $1,000 to $3,000 or $4,000.
Some drivers say certain roads have been a problem for years.
What they do is just patching, even with full of water, and they don't resolve anything.
Others point to potholes and uneven pavement across the city, an issue especially noticeable for motorcyclists.
Riverside Drive, and I ride it a lot from, sort of right all the way across. It's a beautiful road to ride all the way out to Bell River, but that's a terrible road.
Either between Tecumseh Road and Wyandotte, man, they really need to work on these potholes.
CAA says the campaign has led to improvements in some communities as municipalities prioritize repairs, noting frequent flyers on the worst roads lists like Riverside Drive and Banwell avoided being named last year.
It's actually a better investment to fix the road in a timely manner than wait for the road to deteriorate over time and then having to pay millions of dollars for a full-scale reconstruction project.
CAA says drivers can submit their nominations online over the next several weeks. In the meantime, mechanics say avoiding potholes when possible and staying alert behind the wheel can help prevent costly repairs and keep Windsor's roads a little safer for everyone, including the road crews who are out working on them. We reached out to the City of Windsor for word on what this year's road construction season is shaping up to be, but no one was available for interview today. Stephanie?
It's sure to be a busy one, as always. Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you for this. And this takes us to our question of the day. Do you think Windsor-Essex roads are seeing improvement? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you would consider changing your driving habits because of gas prices. Out of 650 votes, 64% of you say yes, you would. Windsor City staff are recommending council go no further, for now at least, with a study looking at converting some one-way streets in wards 3 and 4 back to two-way traffic. A report going to the Environment, Transportation and Public Safety Standing Committee on Wednesday says after public engagement on 11 streets, not a single one received majority support for conversion. Staff say 68% of respondents oppose the idea overall, citing concerns about parking, safety, cost, and recent street improvements already in place. The report says 7 of the 11 streets saw majority opposition, including Jeanette, Bruce, Dougal, Victoria, Polisher, Lincoln, and Gladstone.
So this is why we take our time. This is why we ask council questions. This is why we get reports done. This is why we ask for public feedback, because we want to do it right the first time and not have to circle back and change something and do it all over again.
Temperatures and weather clearly affect our roadways. Meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now for a first look at the weather from the Weather Center tonight. Gary.
Stefanie, it's all about warming up. That trend for the next couple of days. By the way, we still had to deal with some snow across parts of southern Ontario. You may have even seen some light flurries earlier this morning, but that wave, you can make out the clouds, and the snow returns from the radar sweeping right across from west to east, southern, central, and southeastern Ontario. Temperatures cool down. We'll get to a low pre-dawn tomorrow morning around 0 or -1. But we could warm up into the double digits tomorrow afternoon, a cloudy day, and then things get very interesting, skyrocketing temperatures for Thursday. I won't keep you in the not know for too long, but I will say this: we could see some records being set before the week is over. I'll break it down for you shortly. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
A petition is making the rounds on social media to fix Sandpoint Beach and make it safe for everyone to enjoy. As CTV's Bob Belichico shows us, residents are hoping for a quick solution to the eyesore the fenced-off beach has become.
I hope this isn't going to be here for like 6 years.
Residents want safety at Sandpoint Beach, as shown by a petition circulating on social media.
I'm happy to see that people want to see the change happen in our beautiful waterfront.
But many don't want it to take years to accomplish.
Let's do it like now rather than later, so kids can still enjoy the park over there and they can still enjoy like the scenery, fishing. There's still so much to be had here, and I think the space is still usable. So I just hope it doesn't take 12 years.
I'd like to have it down soon as possible.
Ward 7 City Councillor Angela Marignani says a report by the Life Saving Society of Canada is expected back soon, which she hopes can be presented at Council sometime in May.
That report will have all the recommendations put forward by the Life Saving Society of Canada, and that's exciting because I know that much of their recommendations will be similar to the one that was unanimously supported by Council.
He's also expecting a review of all the pertinent reports, such as the Provincial Coroner's Report and the Landmark Engineering Report, to help Council move forward. So Sandpoint Beach was fenced off last June after a tragedy involving a 15-year-old. The city opened up a review of the Sandpoint Beach Master Plan, which involves moving the beach to the east side of the park. Now, as part of the 2026 budget, the city allocated $1.5 million to replace the current playground with a new one and to build a splash pad. The key to getting Sandpoint Beach done in an expeditious way? Funding. Marignani says he is aware of a few grants the city is in a position to apply for that would help take the burden away from taxpayers.
And eventually that fence will become like a fence we see at Riem Park. That section will be grassy, greenland, and it will have trees and shade and all that, so no one will want to go in the water there.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
A global engineering company is making a multi-million-dollar bet on Windsor, Essex, bringing dozens of new high-tech jobs with it. And officials say their expansion into the region builds on Windsor's automotive roots and its close ties to Detroit. Joining me with the details on this is CTV's Travis Fortnum tonight. Travis.
Yeah, Stefanie, Solize Partners is putting about $2 million into Windsor with plans to create around 40 new tech and engineering jobs. The team behind the firm says it chose Windsor for a few key reasons. Its automotive roots, a deep pool of skilled workers, and its location right next to Detroit. That cross-border access means engineers here can work closely with U.S. clients while still building out Canadian operations. These roles will focus on digital manufacturing, design, and product development as the company tries to grow its footprint in Canada and plug into the region's evolving auto and advanced manufacturing sectors. Stakeholders in Windsor, Essex say it's another sign companies are still looking to grow here.
At the end of the day, we're known as an ecosystem that is an advanced manufacturing powerhouse. And this just adds to that roster of companies that choose Windsor, Essex because they have the confidence in this community.
Officials say this investment is part of a longer-term strategy with Solize targeting 15 to 20% annual growth in Canada and the potential to add another 20 to 40 jobs locally over the next 2 to 3 years. Stefanie.
Jobs strongly welcomed. Thank you, Travis. Canada's Auditor General has released a report about Canada's international student program and its impact on immigration. According to the data, schools flagged thousands of potentially problematic students, but only a fraction were investigated. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
Canada's Auditor General says integrity falls short when it comes to the government's revamp of the international student program.
What's concerning for me is that the department isn't acting on the information that it has.
The report found schools flagged more than 153,000 potential red flag students to the government over 2 years, but the Immigration Department only investigated just over 4,000. And when 41% of flagged students didn't respond to the government, the investigation seemed to end there.
We will definitely do better, and we will be more consistent.
Overall, a cap on international students worked to drop the numbers. The audit found they dropped much more than expected. This graph shows the projected number of new study permits for 2024 and 2025, and the total actually approved up until September. Separately, the audit found 800 cases where applicants had either used fraudulent information or misrepresented themselves. Most went on to apply for other immigration permits in Canada, and more than half of those were approved.
We will be centralizing the investigation. We will be streamlining anyone that is flagged. We will be doing more reporting, and we will be information sharing with CBSA.
But the minister wouldn't say how many more investigations would be possible.
We've brought too many people into the country too fast for housing, healthcare, jobs to keep up. That has lowered public acceptance for immigration, and frankly, it's just a giant dumpster fire.
The immigration minister also said the report only captures the first 18 months of what is a multi-year reform. The Conservatives call that an illusion and say nothing has changed. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
We want to hear from you. Do you have an idea for a great story? Text us at 10400. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, an OHL team could be coming to Chatham-Kent, but it hinges on a new arena and a big price tag. New questions tonight in the deadly Air Canada Express crash as investigators focus on a missing warning system and who was directing ground traffic in the moments before impact. And tomorrow, a major downtown Windsor parking lot could be transformed into housing as the city reveals its next steps in its growing development strategy. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Talks of an OHL expansion team in Chatham-Kent are heating up. The league's commissioner pitched municipal council. CTV's Robert Lothian has more on what this could bring to the community.
There's a choke in front of the net. Shot, grade three.
A pitch to bring the highs of the OHL to the heart of Chatham-Kent. OHL Commissioner Brian Crawford presenting to Municipal Council Monday night on a potential expansion team.
I think Chatham-Kent has always kind of been in the background of potential markets that could one day be interested in hosting an OHL team.
Crawford said talks are underway across Ontario to expand the 20-team league. A commitment from the OHL hinges on a quality facility.
The level of interest that the community has in building an arena in this scenario. Without an arena, there isn't much to discuss.
In Chatham, a new arena for local hockey and recreation is already a need, but an OHL team needs capacity for at least 5,000 people, with an estimated $150 to $200 million price tag.
So we're in the market for a new arena, whether it's a 5,000-seat OHL arena or not, I don't know, but the timing's correct, because we're going to build an arena, I think, one way or the other.
Ward 6 Councillor Michael Bondi is one of several councillors worried about impacting the existing Chatham Maroons, who have a lengthy history and a passionate fan base.
So that's going to be a big question, is what happens to our, beloved Maroons that have been playing hockey here for, again, probably close to 80 years.
But Crawford says GOHL teams already coexist in other markets.
We, as in the OHL, have a very vested interest in the health and the longevity and the viability of the GOHL because of our now partnership and because of our dependence on them to help develop our players going forward.
The league would oversee finding an owner, and the team would lease space and ice time. Even with a new arena, a Chatham-Kent OHL team would be 3 to 8 years away. Robert Lothian, CTV News.
The president of Windsor's Rose City Gymnastics is going to Leamington Council tonight to make one last-ditch effort to secure support.
Our revenue will bring in a lot more revenue than the Flyers ever could bring in a 5-day event.
Diana Georgie feels like her club is being bashed because of Leamington's support of their bid for the 2027 Provincial Gymnastics Championships. Knowing council was reconsidering their support, Georgie has approached St. Clair College as a possible backup location. She plans to attend tonight's council meeting in hopes of persuading councillors to follow through on their support. Georgie hopes to reiterate the value of hosting an event like this, which will bring in at least $15,000 to direct payments to Leamington. Not to mention, she says it will be a premier event in the gymnastics world.
There's 1,200 athletes, men and women from all Ontario, from ages 9 to probably 20 in the men's division, going all the way up to Junior Olympic, which is our level 10 national athletes.
Investigators with the National Transportation and Safety Board began their first full day of examination into that deadly Air Canada Express crash, which killed 2 Canadian pilots and injured dozens of others. Among the questions being raised, why did the fire truck not have a transponder to trigger a warning system, and who was acting as ground controller at the time of the crash? CTV's Adrian Gobriel is at LaGuardia Airport.
With the twisted, tangled wreckage of Air Canada Express Flight 8646 still strewn across LaGuardia Airport's runway 4, new details today on the tragic chain of events. The U.S. Port Authority fire truck that collided with the Air Canada Express passenger plane didn't have a tracking device on board to alert LaGuardia Airport's surface detection equipment of its location.
You have to know where ground vehicles and aircraft are. So in this case, that vehicle did not have a transponder.
We're also learning crucial details from the final moments recorded inside the cockpit as the Air Canada flight made its final descent.
At 54 seconds, the flight crew acknowledged that the airplane was 500 feet above the ground and on a stable approach. At 25 seconds, Truck 1 requested to cross runway 4 at taxiway Delta. At 20 seconds, the tower cleared Truck 1 and company to cross runway 4. At 9 seconds, the tower instructed Truck 1 to stop.
Stop, Truck 1, stop, Truck 1, stop, Truck 1, stop.
At least 10 calls to stop went unanswered as air traffic control watched the scene unfold in real time. The impact claiming the life of pilot Antoine Foray, who grew up southwest of Montreal. Foray's brother Cedric sharing this childhood photo on Facebook while writing in part, "Have a good flight, my brother. Oh yes, we've heard the phrase often, but this time it will be the last. You left us again. Too soon to say goodbye. I love you, my brother. You can leave with your head held high." At Seneca College campuses today, Canadian flags are at half-mast for co-pilot Mackenzie Gunther, who graduated with honors in aviation technology. There are also stories of survival. Flight attendant Solange Tremblay suffered multiple leg fractures after she was ejected from the aircraft while still strapped to her jump seat, her family calling her survival miraculous. Aviation experts believe the pilots may have saved the lives of dozens of passengers.
The crew, in my opinion, heroically did what they could to slow the aircraft down and to lessen the impact.
This comes as confirmation that 3 Canadian Transportation Safety Board inspectors arrived at the crash scene this morning to work in lockstep with their U.S. counterparts.
They are entitled to tour the wreckage. They also have access to most of the recorded information that will be collected during the investigation.
As for the flight data recorder, analysis on that is expected to begin today, with a transcript of the cockpit voice recorder released tomorrow. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Queens, New York.
Russia has launched a massive drone and missile barrage on civilian areas of Ukraine. The overnight aerial strikes killed 4 people and injured at least 27. Ukraine's Air Force says Russia fired nearly 400 long-range drones, as well as cruise and ballistic missiles. The Ukrainians also say the enemy is stepping up ground attacks along the front, trying to break through defenses in several key areas. Some experts believe a spring-summer offensive appears to have begun. NASA has announced plans today to build a multi-billion-dollar base on the surface of the moon.
The moon base will not appear overnight. We will invest approximately $20 billion over the next 7 years and build it through dozens of missions, working together with commercial and international partners towards a deliberate and achievable plan.
The space agency says the base will support sustained operations on the lunar surface. It will be constructed using some of the components already built for a planned space station on the moon's orbit. But that project has now been canceled in favor of the base. The change is related to the Artemis mission, which will see astronauts return to the moon's surface for the first time in nearly 60 years. Canadian Jeremy Hansen is scheduled to fly around the moon as part of that mission. Liftoff is set for April 1st. Canada's main stock index was up as the price of oil rose. In Toronto, the TSX gained 58 points. In New York, the Dow lost 84, the Nasdaq dropped 185. The Canadian dollar fell a quarter cent today. On commodity markets, gold is down more than $5 an ounce. Oil gained $4.22 a barrel. A new study is highlighting a gap in Canada's healthcare system, showing Black Canadians are less likely to fill prescriptions. Why researchers say the disparity persists.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Frank Carpala for this great bird image. The birds are back in town. They've been here for a bit with things warming up, and it's getting warmer. I'll break down that story next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Cloudy out there around 1 o'clock. Gary joins me for an extended look at the weather. Gary, cool tonight, but things temperature-wise will shift.
Warming up so that tomorrow I'll be on my electric stand-up scooter, right? Trying to save on gas expense. Boy, I wish it was Friday today. The temperatures are going to soar, and it will impress, I think. The worst case scenario is that we will see maybe even some showers. Oh, by the way, I keep forgetting. Big contest, right? It's always important to get that PIN number written down for the Money Mayhem. 6529. Once again, 6529. Enter it at ctvwindsor.ca and be listening to Mike and Meg, as always, in the mornings at 8:37 a.m. on our sister station, AM 800. Okay, so it's been great. It's been cool to start. Temperatures below expectations. We thought it'd be closer to about 8-9 today. We'd be lucky if we got to 5-6. Air quality is good under cloudy conditions. A bit breezy, but for the most part, not too bad. The overnight winds are calm, then the winds pick up for Wednesday afternoon, and there's a slight chance we could see some showers tomorrow. But I think it's going to warm up, and I think we're going to see double digits. More on that in just a moment. 2 degrees cooler in Chatham-Kent, 5 degrees Celsius in Windsor at the airport. That feels like about +1, and it feels like about -1 to -3 within the confines of Chatham-Kent. Hello to our friends there. Yes, more snow across southern, central, and eastern Ontario. We are fortunate that we reside in the extreme southwestern tip of the province, and that's why we really haven't seen much of anything today. Cloudy tonight. Cloudy tomorrow and cloudy for Thursday. There could be a brush with significant rainfall, though, Thursday afternoon. The breakdown for tonight, partly cloudy. I think will be close to about 3 degrees through 8 o'clock, 2 degrees, partly cloudy through 10. The winds are light, about 10K sustained out of the south, and about 1 degree, and we'll get into a bit of a clearing just after midnight. Take a look at our Enercare Siles 7-day forecast, the highs and lows that we project into the future, and the rain that's likely to come Thursday afternoon, as mentioned. Look at these temperatures, though. 12 degrees tomorrow, average highs 8. 19, maybe 20 degrees on Thursday, but a rainy afternoon. Then it just falls off 2 degrees on Friday. That's a 17-degree differential there. 11 for Saturday, Sunday. Could see some flurries Saturday morning, and then Sunday, a fair weather day. 13 and then 11 Monday, Tuesday. Temperatures rebounding and above seasonal. This roller coaster ride continues.
Pharmaceutical companies Pfizer and Valneva say they have made an experimental vaccine for Lyme disease that is broadly effective, despite the clinical trial failing to achieve its main goal. The companies say the new vaccine was more than 70% effective in preventing Lyme disease in people aged 5 and up during a phase 3 trial. However, because there were fewer cases of the tick-borne illness during the study period, the trial did not reach its primary endpoint.
You know, when you get a vaccine, your body produces what are known as antibodies, and if you're exposed to the bacteria or the virus, your body will mount an immune response to it when it gets into your body. What's neat about this vaccine is, yes, you're given a shot and you produce antibodies to it, but it's not necessarily taking effect in your body. When a tick bites you and sucks up your blood, those antibodies bind to the Lyme in the tick to prevent it from being transmitted to you. So you're actually transferring the blocking technique of the antibodies in the tick itself. So it's a rather smart way to prevent transmission.
People bit by an infected tick often get a rash and suffer flu-like symptoms, including muscle and joint aches, headaches, nausea, and vomiting. In some cases, the disease can also lead to neurological problems. Experts warn transmission rates could rise as climate change leads to longer, warmer, and drier summers, which is an ideal environment for ticks. A new study shows a startling difference in how Black Canadians fill drug prescriptions versus white Canadians. And as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, that means differences in health outcomes down the road.
You know, in Canada, we often say that healthcare is free. Well, you can go and see your doctor 10,000 times. But if you're not going to be able to adhere to what your doctor has told you, then we can see maybe these are some of the pathways towards strong disparities in health outcomes of Black people.
And researcher Bukola Salami says that can include cardiovascular diseases, cancers, diabetes, and even mortality. The study took data from the Canadian Community Health Survey over several years, starting in 2015. A total of more than 181,000 Canadians over age 18 were looked at, including almost 3,000 Black Canadians and 178,000 white participants.
What we found is that Black people were less likely to, one, have a prescription, prescription drug coverage, and that even after we accounted for prescription drug coverage, age, gender, and several of other factors, they were still less likely to fill a prescription because they did not have the financial means to do so.
U.S. research has shown similar trends.
One of the things we found is that females were also less likely to fill up a prescription than males because of cost.
And even when cost was a factor for both groups,
Black people were more likely to not fill the prescription at all. White people were more likely to skip doses.
The study authors are calling for more equity-based pharmacare coverage and further research to better understand these discrepancies. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
A new report shows more Canadians are cutting cable for streaming, but costs are climbing and ads are making a comeback. The number of return trips to the U.S. by Canadians was down more than 20% in January, a year into the second term of U.S. President Donald Trump. According to Stats Canada, Canadian residents returned from 2.1 million trips to the U.S. in January, representing a 22% drop from the same month in 2025. It also marks the 13th consecutive month of a year-over-year decline. By contrast, the number of Canadian residents returned trips from overseas increased more than 10% during the first month of this year. Stats Canada says the shift in travel trends among Canadians started in early 2025 when Trump returned to the White House. A new report on Canadian viewing habits show more people are cutting cable in favor of streaming. And with that, there seems to be a concerted effort from streamers to incorporate more ads on their platforms. With more, here's Pat Foran.
Streaming price hikes have become so common they've earned a nickname, streamflation. Rising fees can add up quickly, especially if you have multiple services.
I have about 5. It has gone up, and we try to keep a budget.
If you don't keep track, you may not know how much you're spending each month.
I have to look at my bill, so don't know yet.
According to the Couch Potato Report, there are 55 streaming services in Canada, and last year revenue increased 15% to $4.8 billion. This year, the revenue forecast is 11.5% growth, with expected revenue of $5.35 billion. Consumer Reports' Jim Wilcox was shocked when he checked his statements and found he was paying about $1,000 a year for TV services.
The cost has really creeped up on a lot of people, and it's probably one reason that a lot of people don't understand how much they're really paying.
The top 10 providers hiked prices last year by an average of 7%. It's why more Canadians are now streaming services with ads, as it costs 42% less. If you're willing to watch commercials, consider switching to a lower-priced ad-supported tier available on many streaming services. To save money, you can also check your subscriptions, your apps and credit card bills, and cancel services you aren't using. There are also free streaming options such as Pluto and Tubi. Crave, which is owned by Bell Media, the parent company of CTV, saw a 26% increase over last year, due in part to programs like Heated Rivalry. If there are shows you can't afford to miss, Wilcox says you can also consider a strategy called service hopping.
You sign up for a service, you binge everything you can for a month or so, and then cancel that service and then jump to another one.
You may want to put a reminder on your phone to cancel the service so you're not paying after your binge is over. For many households, streaming is the new normal, and those that pay for streaming services have an average of almost 3 subscriptions each. Pat Foran, CTV News.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Get ready to let it go with Windsor Light Music Theater's presentation of Disney's Frozen the Musical. Tickets on sale now. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Melanie, let's circle back to Leamington in the lead up to tonight's meeting.
That's right, Stephanie. So Town Council out there is reconsidering their support for Windsor's Rose City Gymnastics. The town agreed to thaw the ice at the Highbury-Canco rink inside the Nature Fresh Farms Recreation Center next spring. It would clear the way for Rose City to host the 2027 Provincial Gymnastic Championships here. But the Leamington Flyers junior hockey team is the main user of this ice, and it would mean they would lose their home ice advantage in the second round of next year's playoffs. Tonight, Council is going to reconsider their support, but Rose City remains hopeful the town will see the value of hosting such elite athletes.
These girls and gentlemen train anywhere from 15 to 25 hours a week, 52 weeks out of the year. They have to make a score at, I would think it's at 37 out of 40. That's their score they have to make at 3 different qualifiers in order to get to this main event.
Now, if you go to our website, you'll find the backstory on this issue at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And Melanie, we also have a story online with some good news for golfers.
Oh, absolutely. Despite the weather being up and down, some golf courses in the region are opening. Roseland GM Dave DeLuzio says golfers can hit the links next week. He says they've been closely monitoring the forecast as golfers are eager to get back on the 18-hole city-owned course. The club has made several improvements to the course this year, including refreshing the 84 bunkers with new sand and installing a new irrigation system. And in our social spotlight tonight, it's March Madness in the U.S., and sometimes it's even more fun to watch the student broadcasters than it is to watch the games themselves. Love it. That's the play-by-play team for the High Point Panthers as they knocked off the heavily favored Wisconsin team by 1 point in the NCAA tournament. The underdogs weren't as lucky against Arkansas, but at least they made it to the second round, Stefanie.
I love how excited they are. And that's what it is. That's what this career is. Does it take you back to when you were a student?
You could just feel the excitement. I mean, you really get into the game, like you're cheering and you're broadcasting.
Yeah. I don't know sports too well, but I specifically remember doing a play-by-play basketball, and it was so much fun. And these guys clearly, I don't know, bright future. We'll see.
For sure.
Okay, if anyone at home has some video they want to share with you, how can they do it?
Well, hopefully they'll email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. They're proving age is just a number. A group of hockey players are heading into the 80-plus Hockey Hall of Fame, still hitting the ice and still loving every minute. Gary, you described the temperatures perfectly as a roller coaster.
Thank you.
It's like you've done this before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, thank you. Great to have you back. Listen, folks, it's going to warm up, and then it's going to get really cold, and then it's going to warm up again. There it is. Take a look. Highs and lows anticipated as waves of warm air move through over the next couple of days, and then a significant cold front will drop temperatures. Case in point, 12 degrees tomorrow, cloudy, rainy on Thursday, 19, maybe 20, and then Friday, 2 degrees. All the while, we could see passing showers and then flurries. Then we'll be averaging about 12 degrees between Saturday and Tuesday of next week. The average high is 8. So there you have it. That's your final look at your inner carousel's 7-day forecast.
Okay.
People keep saying, what's up with the weather? I just say,
Out of your control.
it's out of my control.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Travis, we are sticking with Leamington tonight for our 11 o'clock newscast.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it a couple times throughout the newscast tonight. Council is going to discuss this controversial decision around the ice time. They're going to revisit their support for that gymnastics bid after pushback from the Flyers and some late back and forth. What, if anything, changes tonight is still unclear, but CTV's Robert Lothian is there, and we will have that for you at 11.
Okay, looking forward to it. Some hockey players from Kitchener-Waterloo are being recognized for their commitment to the sport. The KW Daytimers will be inducted into, listen to this, the 80-plus Hockey Hall of Fame this weekend. CTV's Colton Wines has all the details.
Stopping pucks is a weekly practice for Alf Kaldma, who's been strapping on the pads longer than some play the sport.
I've been a goalie for 53 years now, I guess.
The 81-year-old plays twice a week with the KW Daytimers in Waterloo, saying he learned how the position works by reading a book written by Jacques Plante.
In a way, it just keeps you going. I'm almost afraid to stop, so to speak, because I don't want to seize up.
And over 5 decades later, his goaltending style is whatever works.
The hardest part is getting your body to do what your brain says it should do. And I don't move anywhere near as fast anymore. But like I said, as long as I can stop that puck at least Well, 60% of the time, I'm happy.
And Caldma's dedication to stopping rubber is set to be recognized this weekend during a ceremony at the Waterloo Memorial Recreation Complex on Saturday. He and 5 other daytimers will be inducted into the 80-plus Hockey Hall of Fame, a not-for-profit that recognizes active recreational hockey players 80 or older across the country.
It's a privilege to get into it, you know, that they recognize us old guys still putting the skates on and having a good time.
It's a celebration of the game and our place in the game. We all played at different levels, and we just love the game enough that we're still going to try.
For a guy who just played street hockey, this is great. It's really special. We were talking about how we would be next. One of those guys isn't with us anymore, so it's a real privilege to still be here, and we play because we can, and it's better than the alternatives.
Now, the guys say not only is it the love to get out and play the game every week, but it's also the camaraderie in the change room and here on the bench.
It's a love, really. I just thoroughly enjoy, but just as much in here, in the dressing room or on the bench, as on the ice.
But don't let the gray hair fool you. These seniors still bring their passion to the game.
A lot of chirping in the dressing room. You got to have a very thick skin to be in here, that's for sure.
Getting the hockey bag and trying to put on your skates is nothing compared to being able to get out on the ice and try to make a few plays.
And we're the coffee club, too. You know, we go for a coffee and muffin afterwards. No more beer and chicken wings.
Colton Weens, CTV News, Waterloo.
No more beer and chicken wings, that's for sure. I must say they look great for their age.
Yeah.
Because
no
they're staying
wrinkles.
active, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that Jacques Plante book, my brother has it. He was a goalie. He grew up playing collegiate hockey. So I like seeing that. Good form, cutting down the angles, still can get down on the butterfly. I'm impressed.
I'm very impressed. Hopefully we're that active when we're that age.
Yeah.
Okay,
in like
on
30
behalf...
or 40 years.
Yeah. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
Good night.
I'm going to play hockey till I'm